Physician Care Manager, also known as PCM, is a Meditech desktop that physicians, midwives, dentists, and nurse practitioners use to access the Enterprise Medical Record, or EMR. PCM collects, stores, and displays clinical data for individuals who access healthcare services in Interior Health, such as diagnostics, physician reports, orders, medications, and allied health documentation. After logging into the network, you will be able to launch Meditech directly from the icon on the desktop. If you have more than one role, you will be prompted to select a job when you sign on. To change the job, click the drop-down arrow and select the correct job. This is the main Meditech screen. You can select Physician Care Manager to access patient lists and the EMR. You can also select Reports to review a list of custom reports. From the main Meditech screen, launch Physician Care Manager to access your patient lists. The purpose of patient lists is to assist the physician in managing patients, with the system actively pushing information out to the user. Patient lists and Find Patient help with rounding and locating patient information within the system. The Rounds Patients list is the default screen that displays for most providers when first logging into PCM. This list shows all inpatient and observation patient names for which the provider's name has been entered as attending, admitting, PCP, or other. The list is sorted initially by facility, then patient location, room, and bed within the facility. You can resort the list by clicking another column header. For example, you can resort the patient name column to display in alphabetical order. The physician has the option to print the rounds list. To do so, click the Report button at the bottom of the screen. The Select Report Parameters window opens. Use this window to select report options and facilities to include. You may change any of these default parameters. Select a facility. Then click OK. The Print Destination box opens. Preview is the default option. Click OK. The report opens in a printable format. The report sorts by the facility location. Click the Print button to print the report. To view discharged inpatient visits, select the My Discharged list. You can also view the covered discharge list, which includes all the discharged inpatients the physician was covering. You can view the covered discharge list using the tab at the top of the page, or from the patient list's home screen. Patients remain on the list for 7 days after discharge. To return to the patient list's home screen, click the List button at the bottom of the screen. To view patients who are associated to a provider and have been seen in an IH hospital emergency department where the physician is associated, select the My Emergency Patients list. Patients remain on the My Emergency list for 7 days. To view patients for which the physician has received consultation requests, select My Recent Consultations. Patients remain on this list for 28 days. To view inpatients at all emergency departments and acute and residential facilities, as well as all outpatient and surgical daycare patients that are associated with the provider, select the My All Patients list. Personal List allows a provider to create a personalized list of patients. To add a patient from the rounds list, select the checkbox for the patient that you would like to add. Click the Add to Personal button at the bottom of the screen. To view your personal list, go to the Patient List home screen by clicking Lists. Select Personal List. If you would like to remove a patient from the list, select the checkbox for the patient you'd like to remove. Click Remove. To see a list of patients by admission or discharge date, click Admissions Discharges by Date. Search for the facility that you wish to see admissions or discharges for. A calendar will appear. Select a date to see patient admissions or discharges for that day. Here you will see the patients discharged on April 4th. If you would like to see admissions for the same day, click the Admissions tab. To view patients by location, select any location. Select the facility and then the location to receive a list of inpatients for that location. Here you will see a list of inpatients on the second floor of the Caribou Memorial Hospital. You can find a patient by searching using several criteria, such as name, account number, or PHN. Please note that healthcare number, or referred to here as HCNUM, is equivalent to PHN. For this example, we will search for a patient using last name and first name. Click on the patient to open the patient chart. If the patient has a special indicator, it will display. Click Close. The chart will open to the default panel. Physicians can use BuildCover to build inpatient coverage lists. This functionality will update both the rounds list and the information going to messages in PCM. Please note that the covering physician must be the provider who constructs the covered patient lists using the BuildCover functionality. To build provider cover, click on the Build Cover button at the bottom of the screen. Click on the Provider tab. Click on the drop-down arrow and type in the last name, then the first name of a provider you are covering for. Select the appropriate provider to add the provider's name to the inpatient cover list. Additional providers can be added to your Build Cover list. Click the Save button to save the coverage list. To build provider cover for a specific provider group, click the Group tab. Select the checkbox next to the provider group that you are covering for. Click the Save button to save the displayed selection. To remove coverage, uncheck the checkbox next to the provider or group that you no longer wish to cover. You can also use the Reset List button to remove all existing selections. Click the Save button for the Remove option to take effect. Select the checkbox next to a provider or group you wish to save as a favorite. Click on the Save as a Favorite button to add the current selection to your favorites list. Enter a name to save the defined cover list as a new favorite. Click Save. Repeat the process when adding additional favorites to your list. To remove favorites, click on the Delete Favorites button. Select the checkbox next to the items you would like to remove. Click the Delete button. To build cover for all patients in a specific location, click on the Location tab. Select the facility. Scroll to the bottom of the screen to select the location within that facility. Select the location. Click the Save button to save the displayed selection. To print lab reports, select the Laboratory panel. To view labs for the selected visit, click on the Selected Visits tab. Click on the column header that contains the date and time of the lab results that you would like to print. Click the Lab Report button at the bottom of the screen. Click the printer icon at the top of the screen to print the report. To print reports, select the Reports panel. Click the clipboard icon next to the report you wish to print. Click Print Preview at the bottom of the screen. Click the printer icon to print the report.